stand for a while because I hurt myself. And
Oh,
so
no.
the problem is that now my hair is going to keep growing because I don't let anyone else
Because
cut
you're
my
not going to go
hair.
to anybody else.
So I'm not going to go to anybody else and cut my hair. We have 0 viewers, so it doesn't matter. Although the recording people, hello people who are watching this on YouTube. This is Stephanie, our course operation liaison, teaching assistant, all around great person wearing an awesome Coursera shirt.
You guys can just scoot over that.
Scoot this way.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
Yep, that's good.
Okay. So could we get the chat stuff up? You know,
Nope, that's not the chat stuff.
yeah, you go over on that other thing to the left and then hit the Q&A. Hit the Q&A, hit that guy. And then we need to resize it so that we can see this feature is disabled.
I know we can't.
It's disabled. I wonder why. But it doesn't matter. Okay, so that means we just have to make the version of us smaller, make that smaller, and then we'll get him in the Google Plus.
Mm.
Yeah.
15, 14, 13.
Ooh.
Everybody should be transferred in the next couple of minutes, next 30 seconds or so, if my software works. Redirect, redirect, redirect. Software working, and it's working. And there we are. It
There
redirects.
we are,
We still
yay.
have 0 viewers.
Wasn't it like last time up to like almost 100 people?
Yeah. We
One
only
viewer.
We have 1 viewer. It's me.
Oh, darn.
I think I count as a viewer.
2.
2 viewers. That's somebody other
That's
than
somebody
me.
other than you.
So we have another viewer. We're just kind of getting ready here.
3.
We always like to get the technology started early, so that we. So we're going to be taking questions on Google Plus. We have to watch that. You can tweet at Dr. Chuck. I'll be watching at Dr. Chuck, and so we don't have today. There you go. That's good. You don't have today. We'll have to scroll that down, right, as stuff gets said. No, put that back up.
I was trying to put it into the prompter.
Oh. Go
I
ahead.
think I might be able to do that.
Go ahead.
Ooh,
Right there.
Yeah. That'll be good.
There you go.
That'll be good.
Can you move your mouse over to that?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I even said something over here in this other
Oh.
thing, and now I can watch at Dr. Chuck. So we have 5 viewers. Dimitri, you've been to several of these, and so it's good to see you. The other thing we've done is we've invited teaching assistants, mentors, so they may pop up and we'll involve them. They're not here yet. They're not required to come. So we'll see the questions as they go by, mostly on Google Plus or Twitter at Dr. Chuck. So the first thing to talk about is the videos and the videos and how those things are going. And the key thing for this is the optional projects. Everyone's going to get kind of out of it what they put into it. And I think we got a bunch of good optional projects going, and people are doing some cool stuff. They're challenging themselves. We had a lot of different skill levels coming in. Yeah, Dimitri, we're in the really nice studio today, which is different than my office or my house. Sometimes I do these in my office, sometimes I do it at the house, and we have like $600 microphones. Both of us have $600 microphones, so it'll be higher quality. So some people have a lot of talent. Some people can do JavaScript, and some people can do cool visualization. And so the presentations have been starting, and we've been taking a look at the presentations. And Stephanie Balagot is I said that right?
You did.
I want to say the G the different way, like everyone in the world wants to say the G the other way. Stephanie is sort of watching them. I'm watching them too. They take a lot of time to watch. They take a lot of time to watch. So we won't get to watch all of them. But So tell us a little bit about the ones that you've taken a look at so far and what's jumped out at you, how you might suggest that people improve them that are still working on them.
So I took a look at the ones from week 6 because I know that we're kind of a lot of the people are at that point, and there are quite a few videos that are up on week 6 right now, and it's kind of like the end result of the products. And overall, people have done a really great job. They go through their code. A couple have made like presentations, like PowerPoint presentations, and went through them and showed like where they were getting their information, what they were doing, and then they go through the code that they've written, all the scripts and the different files, and then kind of run things to show how they are. And so people are doing a really good job at explaining their process. So that's really important.
Right, I agree with that, because one of my goals was for the students to become the teachers, right?
Right.
To not just like do a thing to submit for evaluation, but use this opportunity as something that other students can learn from. So what are some of the ones that sort of jumped out at you that you might, I think what we probably do is like come up with a list and then send email of the ones that you kind of liked, and then send that to everybody. Say, hey, at least take a look at these. Because especially I think sorting for the ones that are the most likely to be good learning experiences for the viewer, right? Something they can really learn from. So what are some that jump out at you?
So there are kind of 3 that jumped out in my head that I was looking at. So one was looking at statistics from mixed martial arts, and so that one was kind of interesting to see what data he was using and how he was using it. So
like how many punches?
So on the MMA website, there's like all these different statistics
stats for like
the fights and different things, and so he kind of scraped that data and did some interesting things with it. Another one was coal use by state, and so that was like just taking some governmental information and looking at it, but it still was really interesting to look at. And then the last one was looking at EU jobs, and so that one was really interesting. There was a really good presentation about the information that he found and where he got it, and the processes he used to put all that data together, and even like issues that he ran into is like, I couldn't get all this information here, so it's also here. And
right, it's not as easy as taking my zip file and running the zip file.
Exactly.
I mean, those zip files that I have, PageRank and Gmain and all those took me a long time to write. And so that's actually an important part of it. So did people use databases?
Yeah, they did. They used a lot of different things. There was another student that did, another one actually that I found really interesting. He took some artist information and like musical artist information and how often tracks were showing up, and did like a word poster, and like so changed the size of the
word one is an easy one to visualize because we already have one.
One's names, based on that. So I mean, it was interesting because it's
different.
That's
a good one, because that one's achievable for someone with moderate skill.
Right.
So something that has to do with words and just reusing the word visualization, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it was really good because it was different, because it's like, it's not your basic like stats data or something like that.
Or email data that we've been
email
doing
data
for
that
months
we
now.
look at, how many times CSEB show up in this list. Yeah, so it was just interesting because it was a little bit different than the others.
And so did most of them use scraping at some level, and then lots of them use databases at some level?
Yeah, I would say I think most of the ones I looked at used scraping, and then a couple used databases. So
that's really cool that they got to use all the things that we sort of have done through the whole course. Scraping, because scraping of course includes parsing, because you have to like take the HTML or the JSON or the XML or whatever it is that you're getting hold of. Did you see any like cool visualization that make my visualization look really sick and bad, or something that really impressed you in terms of visualization? We've got some awesome JavaScript people.
Nothing that stands out quite yet, but I've only looked at a handful of them so far. So hopefully I can go back and really scrape through them and dig through them and hopefully and get to watching all of them.
Maybe folks could call to my attention some that do really awesome visualization, because my visualizations are not, I don't consider myself even like a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10 on visualization. I get it done. I look at the stuff, I learn from it, but I'm not like a specialist or expert in that. I'm really kind of a, hacker.
Yeah, or if you have a really cool visualization that you want to make sure that we like take a look at, if you want to post something in the forums or the thread, just to bring it to my attention so I look at it sooner than later, that would be good too.
Yeah, we'd appreciate that. Okay, let's see. MMA is a really great idea. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So, so let's see. We don't have any questions yet, unless that was a question. So somehow I can't load either one video using Firefox. Have no idea why. Now, if you're talking about loading a video on loading a video of a student making a presentation, the key there is you got to switch your browsers, you got to switch all kinds of stuff and just try until it works. There's a complex set of interactions with this video stuff where maybe you've got a browser that long ago decided to block Flash, or it decided to do this or some other thing or something. And so there are a whole series of well-known ways for it to go bad for you. Whether it's recording video or playing back video. The problem is it's really, really difficult to, like, there's no little screen that says, why is this not working? And then check this box and make it working. And so you just have to use Firefox, try something else, you know, try Internet Explorer, just keep trying until you find something. And if we could send a smart person to your house, they could figure out, if we could send someone from WarpWire to your house, they could probably figure out why your thing doesn't work, because they know all of the things that cause it to sort of get glitched. And it's usually some kind of a permission thing where you turned this thing off and turned some other thing off, which meant that there was no choice for WarpWire to actually play it. But so keep trying. Let's see if I got anything on Twitter. The only thing on Twitter is someone talking about Colleen's course. That's Randy from Houston is talking about Colleen's course, but that's okay. Colleen's course is awesome, and whatever. So let's see. Is there any other questions here? We're gonna run out of things to say. We just don't have enough people. So, yeah, we're only 10 minutes in. We're running out of things questions to ask. Do you have anything, any thoughts, anything to share?
Nothing pressing.
Nothing pressing. Okay. Okay. Huh.
I do know some people were running, I noticed people were running into sound issues, so I haven't had a lot to time to read, like if they've left any notes that talked about that, but I know I opened one video that somebody started by saying that they were having a hard time, and there was a lot of echo in their video, so it might be something that I'm going to need to look into to see if I can figure out why that's happening.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, Jonathan, we have a question. I'm waiting for CSEV to be president. Let's not get started about that. Let's not go down that path. At least not today. It's certainly an interesting day in politics, at least in the United States.
Yeah.
So, if you are some really good source to study object-oriented programming, I don't yet. Right. I'm going to add it to the next book. The next book is coming along. The Python 3 version of the book is coming along nicely. I've got a fellow named, his name's Elliot Hauser. He's a faculty member from Duke, and he has this company called Trinket, Trinket.io, and he somehow got the urge to teach with my book this previous semester at Duke, except he wanted to teach the class in Python 3. Which put him in a very bad situation, which means he had to fix the book for me.
Fix it.
And make it Python 3. And he's got this company that Trinket is this company that puts interactive Python widgets in. And so he didn't get it all done by the end of the semester. That's the nature of being a professor. You don't get these things all done by the end of the semester. But now his semester's over and he went crazy and finished it all up. And so we should have a highly interactive, really beautiful HTML version of the Python textbook. And I don't know if I've sent an announcement out or not, but there is the Python 3 textbook draft is already up and available on Amazon.com.
That's right.
It's called, if you go to Amazon.com and you say Python for Everybody, You can buy a draft. It's pretty much, or is it Python for Everyone? Oh. What?
That's not you.
That's not me. Python for Everyone. I think I'm everybody. Programming for everybody, not programming for everyone. I actually debated that. Programming for everybody, programming for everyone. www.pythonlearn.com/book. That'll work. That always works. Yeah, Python for everybody, exploring data in Python 3. Can I share the screen, boss? Think I can?
There's got to be a feature on that. Yep, I think that green arrow, go up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Whichever one you want, screen 2, Google Hangouts. I think that would
Oh, wait, let's do a browser. Let's do just a browser.
Okay.
So that's this one. There we go. This is the Python 3 version of the book. And it's got actually a professionally designed cover, which is a step in the right direction. And it's not traditional for me to actually have a pretty book cover, but there is the Python 3 version of the book. It's still a draft, as the little thing in the upper left-hand corner says. We're still a draft, but it's there. And so if you're interested in Python 3, and then if you are interested in helping me, this book, this page, www.pythonlearn.com/book, tells you how to actually review the book and send me patches to the book, because the book is up. It's an open book and it's up on GitHub, and you can actually, without knowing much at all, make a GitHub account and just hit this little button and send me typographic layer fixes. But the book is probably 3 or 4 weeks away from being done. Once everything is caught up at the end of the semester, this Elliot Hauser from Duke, he helped me a lot, and so we're in pretty good shape. And so that, if you're interested in the Python 3 version of the book, and I know some of you have been doing Python 3, and I don't know if you've noticed, but in the course, oh wait, so you got to figure out if it's the real mouse or the mouse that you're broadcasting mouse. Stop. Okay. So I hope that presentation worked. I think it did. Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed, but you can actually do all the homework in the first 4 classes in Python 3 if you want. You switch into it, and then you can write your code in Python 3, and that's me quietly testing Python 3 AutoGrader with you as the tester. But some of the mentors have gone through and redone all the homeworks in Python 3, so that's a good feeling. And so we're in really good shape there. So I still have to spend all summer and re-record all the lectures, because I got to change all the slides and then re-record all the lectures to make the class Python 3. But we're taking really good steps on getting the whole course material into Python 3. So let's go back and take a look, see if we have any more questions. Okay, Paul. Comment, not question. Check on the podcast, Talk Python to Me. Real conversations with Python programmers, great crossover material with Python for everybody, and great resources in data science. Cool. Probably should just start that in a discussion thread, although probably wanted to start that in a discussion thread in like course 1 rather than, we should have, by now we should have something that is like other cool resources. So. Jonathan, your course taught me the chops needed to work with a Home Assistant, a Python 3 based home automation platform with Internet of Things and the smart home craze, maybe your Python 3 classes could touch on some of that. Yeah, one of the things that I've been thinking of, and it comes up a lot, is some of you want more challenging problems, and you sort of want problems that toughen you up as a programmer, that are harder. The problems that I give you in this class are problems that yield to gentle dedication and time, but not so. You don't have to be quite so clever to figure things out. You don't have to. It may seem like it's difficult, and so I've been trying to work up in my mind a series of very puzzling problems that, and it turns out that we have a problem with and you saw me send a note about this. We have a problem with the line visualization in China, because the line visualization in China doesn't work because it loads data from Google, and Google's blocked in China. And so I had to write a new line visualization using software that I could just include in the zip file that you download, and all the visualization runs off your hard drive. And so it took me a couple hours. I played around, but the most interesting part of the problem is that the JavaScript that comes out of the gline.py that produces the little JavaScript, well, I produced that for the Google visualization. And I decided that the format for this the other chart system did not want it in that same format. It was the same data, but sort of the rows had to become columns and the titles had to be pulled out in a different way. And they wanted each line versus each vertical thing. So the gline.htm, you have like 2005 and then all the numbers, then 2006 and all the numbers. What they wanted was University of Michigan and all those numbers, and this other one, and then, Cambridge.ac.uk and another one, and Swinsborg.com and another one. And so the data was all wrong. And I'm like, oh, do I really want to change the Python code to make the data come out the way I want? So what I did is I wrote a bunch of JavaScript code to sort of pick the data out of this one format and put the data into another format. And I thought to myself, what a great category of problems, because it took me 45 minutes. But during that 45 minutes, I knew exactly what I was supposed to do. I just had to write a loop that went this way and a loop that went that way, and I made it a new array and stuck the stuff in this array that was formerly that way, and pulled the first thing out and stuck that in its own array that went over this way. And that's kind of it teaches a lot of it was fun for me to do. I wasn't overwhelmed by it, but it was kind of a mind bender. But the beauty is that I could easily turn that into an assignment where you would get some data. I could even make it randomized data, and then you would have to transform the data, which is kind of different than what we've been doing in some of the autograders, where I have things where you go grab data and you do something with that data. But it'd be neat if I made this autograder where your Python program would actually pull the data down and then send the data back. And I was thinking of using the whole thing with URL-lib, and so that's one of my ideas. And we're talking about ways to come up with more challenging classes where all of the problems are very puzzle-like, very, not necessarily gigantic, but very puzzle-like. And so I'm thinking about that. So, yeah, Dimitri found the URL for Programming for Everybody. Well, let's see if there's anything on Twitter. We're way.
I can move the prompter a little bit closer.
It's okay. That distance my eyes actually work at. It's this distance that my eyes don't work so well at. Yeah. Yep, nothing new. Nothing new on Twitter. Have you thought of anything that you want to say?
No.
We don't have to keep doing this for the whole hour if we run out of things.
There's a new post.
Oh, there's a new post. Jolita. PageRank. After I ran spider.p and ran SPRank in terminal, it did its job, but I got an error message that my SQLite file is locked. I managed to go forward after rebooting my computer. Any idea why? So anytime, yes, so there's a couple of ways that your SQLite file can be locked. if you are doing something in two windows that's talking to the same SQLite file, you can end up locking your SQLite file. You can be in a situation where you're using the SQLite browser. Just looking at it tends not to lock it, but if you're looking at something in the browser and it thinks you're about to change it, then it locks the file. And if you're in the browser and in a terminal, then the browser has it locked and the terminal can't talk to it. So by rebooting your computer inadvertently, you ended up probably shutting down that extra browser or shutting down that other terminal. Or maybe you had a terminal that you minimized and then you started a new terminal or new command line that was sitting there, and that other command line had it open, and that was what was causing the problem. And so if it's ever locked, the locking is almost certainly because there are two programs talking to the same file, and it's carefully not letting those programs step on each other. But and so that's generally it. And Jolita, exactly what you did of rebooting your computer, that always wins eventually. You always can win eventually, and you should be able to like hit Control-Alt-Del on your computer, or Command Shift Escape on a Mac, and go through the thing and slowly but surely get rid of the processes that you think might be having that file open, and then it should start working, and then you wouldn't have to go through and reboot your whole computer. So let's see. Any more thoughts? No?
In the last 30 seconds,
No.
not so much.
Okay, well, I think what we'll do then is we will wrap up. We'll wrap up, you know, we've been doing this for 30 minutes, and so we'll do some more. What we're going to do is we're going to send some email about some of the presentations that we think that everybody should watch. And that will be a way to sort of learn from what my original goal when we started the class, learn from you. Oh, can you recommend a way to extract data from PDF files?
Ooh.
I have no expertise, and Stephanie's noise is exactly what noise is in my brain. PDF files are difficult. Things like search engines and Google search, there are whole pieces of software that try to make sense of PDF files, and it's way beyond my ability whatsoever. So after the week, we will create the last presentation with visualization and be done. Yeah, we're coming up on the end.
Yeah.
Seems like for me, it seems like we just started, because I'm always writing new software and trying to fix things. But yeah, it does. I think I'm going to try to extend the whole class for a week. That's on my list of things to do, so that if we have a little bit of stragglers, we can still look at some of that stuff for a week. So I'll try to extend the class a week, and if I can do that, I will send everybody email. Okay, just so we can spend a little more time after we do all our stuff looking at everyone else's stuff. And you know, I'd love to hear from you. I believe we just sent out a survey about the Capstone experience, and so we'd love to hear from you on how to improve it. There's a whole bunch of people in course 3 and 4. They're like grumpy because there's not like Capstone right away. You're the lucky ones. You got in the first Capstone, and I didn't want to schedule the second Capstone until we survived the first Capstone, because I wrote so much new software just to make the Capstone work, and I wanted to make sure that didn't blow up. But it's gone pretty well. I mean, we've had our little things that we've had to fix, but it's in general gone pretty well. And so I'll probably just in a couple of weeks make a new Capstone, because we have so many people kind of waiting for the Capstone at this point. I've already paid for the Capstone, and there are people want to finish this, and I think that's wonderful that people want to finish it. And so I was like, give me a little bit of time to make sure that what we came up with works, and I think it does, but I would like to hear your feedback on that as well. Okay? Okay, so I think we'll wrap up. So see you next time. Cheers.
Bye.
Yeah. There we go.